The Hero Rises 2022 results are in, and we have our top 8 Voting Gauntlet competitors. Today I want to briefly go over each hero and talk about why they are here. Most of these units are pretty meta, so if you've been playing Fae for the past year, you should be somewhat familiar with them. At the end of the video, I want to talk about some fun banner scenarios because we could see the possibility of a 4-man green banner. To go over the rules for the event, these top 8 heroes will be in a Voting Gauntlet that will take place in about 10 days time on February 25th or the 26th for the most of you. The winner of the Voting Gauntlet will be given out to all players, so this is quite an impactful event. Distribution will occur in March, and you just need to log into the game once before April 10th. While a free rare hero is cool and all, the top 4 heroes in the Voting Gauntlet will also get a banner. This is a chance for a 4-man banner with very rare units, and it is sparkable by all players, so I would suggest maybe saving up for that. You should have about a month's time, and I think if you're playing Fae regularly, you should have enough orbs when this banner is out in March. Coming in 8th place with 8,972 votes is Dual New Year's Dagr Nott. They are a pretty strong green flying archer with solid attack and speed stats and the ability to inflict mass debuffs by converting their own field buffs into in-combat penalties on the foe. Dagr keeps her unique beast skill as well, which provides more debuffs and the all-important no fall of 3. Flyers cannot use no fall up skills, so that's a nice bonus. Dagr then has a rain for even more debuff stacking, and they have accelerated specials, which is always nice. This is all fine and dandy, but the true power of this duel is that they have Pathfinder. Allowing allies to move freely through the space they occupy is insanely strong, and as a flying unit this time the Jotunheimer sisters can create bombing paths for their flyer teams. To double down on Pathfinder, their dual skill gives full +6 field buffs and Pathfinder to allies. Normally you only need to worry about Dagr Nott faring allies, but with this, the entire team can create a conga line straight to the enemy squishies. Thankfully, the AI cannot use dual skills, but in summoner duels, it's all fair game. Pathfinder on a non-mythic plus having the increased arena scoring from being a dual hero also make Dual Dagr a solid merge target. In 7th place with 9,467 votes is Harmonic, Hatari, Azura, and Leanne. They are a green cavalry mage and a dancer that basically has the same abilities as Legendary Azura. When they dance an ally, they give them +6 field buffs, and infantry and flying allies also can move 1 extra space. Legendary Azura is infamous, so putting her support abilities on a 3-movement dancer is incredible. To make things better, Harmonic Azura's Harmonized skill gives them another dance ability to utilize. To top all of this off, Azura has Far Trace for Kanto. Kanto does proc with dance, so Azura can dance an ally, she can Kanto move, and then use her Harmonized skill all in one turn. Very powerful stuff, and another dancer to your barracks is never a bad thing. In terms of combat, Azura can do some damage and double, but she is not focusing on killing stuff. It's still nice to have some solid magic damage on your team though. In 6th place with 9,958 votes is legendary male Byleth. The people have seemed to rally around male Byleth despite his female legendary counterpart releasing recently. I would assume her chances got hurt by winning Serial 6. Regardless, legendary male Byleth is a solid green infantry mage. He has a focus on one-shotting foes with his unique special. Sublime Heaven is similar to Draconic Aura but on 2 cooldown, but it also disables damage reduction skills. That is a big benefit to have nowadays. Additionally, Sublime Heaven deals more damage against beast and dragon foes. Byleth is able to pre-charge Sublime Heaven thanks to accelerated specials and times pulse. He can have it ready every single player phase, and he has a solid offensive spread to double if needed. Byleth also provides no follow-up to nearby allies, however this version requires a speed check win. It's not going to be for everyone, but still a fun support ability to have. This Byleth has some protection as well with attack and defense ideal 4, low attack and res, and +5 to all stats from his tome. If that's not good enough, you can also run Wind Sweep thanks to no follow-up on professorial text. Overall, fun unit to use, and he can counter certain annoying units who rely on damage reduction a bit too much. In 5th place is legendary Eitri with 10,667 votes. She has some suspicious activity for the tapping portion of the event, and while that has nothing to do with the voting itself, perhaps it's part of the reason she is here. Eitri will be a green flying mage, and she is deceptively tanky. Her tome gives a free follow-up attack since she's not super fast, but it also comes with Kanto for 4 turns and inflicts -6 attack and res on the foe. Her Divine Recreation beast skill inflicts more debuffs and then gives 30% damage reduction while also empowering Eitri's next attack with the damage reduced. This is similar to Fjord's Ice Mirror. You'll notice Eitri has a pretty high 30 defense and 31 res. That is not common for a mage, but with Grim Broker, Divine Recreation, and attack and res rain, she then adds -14 attack and res and debuffs on top. You also get 30% damage reduction, so Eitri is not your typical frail mage, and if you don't kill her, then her next attack is stronger. To be honest, Eitri, at least to me, is the least dangerous unit to give out to everyone. A lot of units on this list can help their entire team or have a powerful ability to use via dual or harmonized skills. Eitri isn't bad, but she is not who I'm scared of the most. In 4th place is Mythic Thorr. With only 100 more votes than Eitri, Thorr has won her spot here by being the only winner not in the top 8 at the time of the midterm results. I think she has a good chance to win round 1 since it seems like her fans changed their votes to her when they saw she was close to getting in. As a unit, Thorr is an Astro Mythic and a Flying Axe wielder with min-max stats for low speed. Her Mjolnir Exotic Specials has Armor Effectiveness, grants Thorr more attack while inflicting attack debuffs on the foe, gives a free follow-up attack, and if solo, also disables enemy field buffs. Pretty stacked weapon, but Thorr also comes with a powerful support skill in World Breaker. It gives Thorr and nearby allies +1 special charge every action. This is insanely valuable due to the power of specials, and Thorr can give special cooldown to unit types that cannot normally access cooldown reduction skills. For example, she can give an archer or mage the same cooldown as Steady Breath. This would also be great for tankier Chasm flyers like Harid. Speaking of which, Thorr is the only unit with the Flow Guard 3B skill. This is a cavalry and flyer skill, but only for sword, lance, and axe users. It neutralizes fallout prevention skills and grants guard on initiations. This is valuable to let offensive Chasm flyers double while not getting bonked by instant bonfire counterattacks. I think it's a really useful tool, but who knows how rare this skill will remain. Thorr herself is a solid user of the skill, and she is quite powerful with her high base attack and World Breaker. In 3rd place is Legendary Sigurd with 12,322 votes. Sigurd has been a target of a lot of counters in the past year because he is so dang good, or annoying I guess you could say. He's a sword cavalier that can move 4 spaces and has decent combat power as well. His Hollow Turfing Accelerate Specials grants +5 to all stats, gives a free follow-up attack, and has damage reduction. Sigurd gets his 4 movement via his Holy Knight Aura special. It's a 2 cooldown special that is similar to Draconic Aura, but its real power comes after it activates. When Sigurd procs Holy Knight Aura, he gives his entire team +1 movement and +6 attack buffs. It occurs even if he dies, so a lot of defense strategies involve Sigurd kamikazing into the offense team to let his allies gain extra movement. A lot of players just give him the Quick Impulse Sacred Seal because all you need is for Sigurd to have Holy Knight Aura ready and his job is done. Even if you can reach him first, Sigurd has damage reduction in his kit. He gains 40% damage reduction on initiations, but if you attack him first with a ranged unit, he also gets 40% damage reduction. However, he then has Crusader's Ward, which gives 80% damage reduction on all follow-up ranged attacks. I've seen Kanto be used on Sigurd, but Crusader's Ward can give him that extra protection. If you don't want extra Sigurd copies, he has solid skill fodder. Attack and Defense Catch 3 is on Sedgar, which means you can grab the tier 4 version from Sigurd, and you can grab Fatal Smoke 3 as well. In 2nd place is Fallen Edelgard with 15,753 votes. She lost her 1st place position, but still has a big following and for good reason. Fallen 80 is a Colorless Beast armor unit who is extremely game breaking. She isn't unkillable or unbeatable, but not bringing some kind of counter means she wipes your entire team. This Edelgard has low speed but incredibly high attack, defense, and res. Her full power comes from transforming, and when she does, she has Accelerate Specials, Attack and Defense debuffs, Wary Fighter, Distant Counter, Special Fighter, 7 HP after combat, healing, 40% damage reduction once per phase, and Raging Storm skill for his action. Woo! Incredibly overloaded kit combined with super high stats makes for one powerful unit. While she is armored, she has Armored Stride and can be a successful solo armor unit thanks to Raging Storm, giving another action after initiating. If you do not kill her in one round, when she initiates, she gets to attack again. If you initiate first without guard, she charges Bonfire and probably kills anything not a tank on the counter. It is demoralizing to watch Fallen 80 kill your entire team while healing to full HP, and you can't do a thing about it. She wipes the floor with any unit not properly built, and it's no surprise to see her here. With that said, this is the 3rd year in a row where Edelgard is the most controversial pick for this event. Fallen Edelgard is not bad by any means, but she is the only non-limited time unit and has made several banner appearances with spark opportunities, including literally right now on the remix banner. A lot of vocal players do not want her to win or even make it to round 2, but this year Edelgard is in 2nd place and this ult is meta defining. There is a good chance she moves on. Taking 1st place from the Fallen Monster is duo ninja female Corrin and Elise with 16,549 votes. This duo is another green cavalry mage. They are not a dancer, but they support the team by killing anything in front of them. Essentially, duo Corrin is a green Reinhardt, except if Reinhardt had more base attack, a stronger Brave Tome, and 40 base speed. If Corrin has 10 or more speed than the enemy, she then gets +7 attack to her 9 might tome, and that's like a 16 might Brave Tome with quad potential. Last year, Dual Ninja Lyn won a Hero Rises, and for good reason. Dual Corrin follows in similar footsteps as a Mage Cav, but keeps Ninja's dual skill. This gives Corrin a Gale Force action, meaning after an attack, she can move again. To make matters worse, she has Far Trace, and yes, Kanto can chain with the dual skill. Compared to Fallen 80, Dual Corrin is a simple unit. She is basically a long-range glass cannon, although that cannon is more like a rail gun. If she gets to quad, I don't see many things surviving. We will see if the Dual Ninja unit can win another title this year. Alright, now let's talk about some fun banner scenarios. First off, at the time making this video, we do not know the Gauntlet seeding. Last year, they went with standard bracket seeding, with first place taking on 8th, 2nd versus 7th, 3rd versus 6th, and 4th versus 5th. However, the year before the seeding was almost random, and who knows if Intelligent Systems wants to shift matchups this year. For the purpose of fun discussion, we will assume standard seeding with our top 8 winners. That means it's Dual Corrin versus Dual Dagr, Fallen Edelgard versus Harmonic Azura, Legendary Sigurd versus Byleth, and then Thor versus Eitri. That one is extra funny because those two got introduced at the same time, and now they're just going at each other's throats. First off, round 1 is the most important round for some because it determines the 4-man banner we get later. If you win round 1, your pick is on the banner, which means they are sparkable at least. Even if they don't win it all, you have the chance to save orbs and still get them. Now, because we have 6 green units this year, we are guaranteed 2 green units on the banner no matter the seeding. This is actually incredible if you just want to pull greens for some rare units. Keep in mind though, any units matching up in round 1 cannot be on the banner together at the same time. That means you can have no Dual Corrin with Dual Dagr and no Thor with Eitri. Now, with 6 green units, that opens the potential for the 4 green dream banner. Normally, color sharing may not be that exciting like in the case of our monthly legendary and mythic banners, but the 4 green units will all be extremely good no matter who you get, and we have sparking anyway. If this happens, I would just summon greens and chances are good the 5 stars would just start to fly out. For this to happen, Byleth and Azura have to win their matchups, which is not going to be easy. If you want this 4 green banner, you are cheering for those two. Within the 4 green banner, it's possible to get 4 green mages. That would be pretty funny and would be a sign to maybe start building a solid ranged red unit. This is a possibility if Azura and Byleth can get their wins. Corrin has the highest chance to win by being first seed, and Eitri versus Thor is going to be a bloodbath. Those two only differ by 100 votes, which is actually just insane. Despite the 4-man green banner dream, I don't think it's going to happen. If we don't have any upsets, Edelgard and Sigurd are going to win, and this is completely believable because they are the higher seeds. A lot of people don't want Edelgard to win, but Azura has a huge mountain to climb. Sigurd and Byleth should be closer, but it looks like odds are in Sigurd's favor. Personally, while Thor and Eitri ended up with similar votes, I would give the edge to Thor. She jumped the biggest number of spots from the midterm, which means people actively want her to win. While seeding and total votes can account for results, we have to think about all the other voters. Which team will the leftover players end up on? If you look at the top 20, it is all 3 houses and Fae OCs, minus Elamine and Brave Erica. This signals to me that male Byleth and Edelgard should get a large amount of extra firepower. Female Byleth is on here twice even, but will her fans flock to the male counterpart, or was COL 6 too much of a win already? The Fae fans could make things interesting. Corrin has a big advantage over Dagr, but as a recent popular character, players may choose Dagr to win. You then have the Fallen Edelgard matchup. Honestly, whoever she faces, a lot of people will choose her opponent just to see her lose. Just how many exactly? As with any internet competition, don't take things too seriously to the point of harassing other people for their choices. That's not cool. Personally, I only have Byleth and Thor from this group of units, so decent chance I walk out of here with someone new. If I had to pick, I would want Dagr because I never got the regular Pathfinder sisters, and then Azura because dancers are OP, especially with just 1 copy. If Fallen 80 does win, can't say I'd be excited, but I also will take that first copy. What is funny to me is how can Edelgard be so consistent at stirring up trouble? It is so crazy that it keeps happening, and this year she has a decent shot to finally make it past round 1. If you haven't been keeping up with recent news, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes was recently announced. In this spin-off focused on 3 houses, we already have new designs for the 3 house leaders, and there is zero surprise for me if they get a promotional banner for the game's release. Will Edelgard be able to get a 4-peat on a Hero Rises controversy next year? It is becoming a tradition at this point. The Voting Gauntlet takes place in a little over a week, so you have time to mull things over. I wish you good luck on your picks. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.